Hi guys, and today's review is on a new tooled item from Rapido Trains UK, and this item is a pre-grouping rolling stock. The rolling stock in question is the Caledonian Railway Diagram 67 10-ton van, and mine is in its Era 2 livery, so it's original livery. It's the Caledonian Railway. Its number is 73007, that's the number of the van. The product number is 976001, and it came out April 2025, and like I said before, it is an Era 2 model, and I believe it's in the oxide or the brown Caledonian livery for their vans. Like I said, this is a new tooled item. It was announced a few years ago, so let's get into the review and see what it's all about, shall we? So in the box you do get a leaflet, and depending on which version or which livery you've gone of this Caledonian Diagram 67 van, you do get some detail parts. So on the first side you get a thank you for ordering this ready to run model. You also get some prototype history, which is always a fascinating read when a manufacturer goes to the trouble of doing history on not just the locomotives, the wagons. I personally find it interesting. Then on the other side, it tells you about the detail packs that you would have if you've got a certain livery. Sadly, I've gone for the pre-grouping one, and it doesn't have any accessories to add, but it still tells you if you had them where to add to your choice. It also says who to thank for acknowledgement and helping with the project. Further down, then you get about your warranty, where to go if any issues, and just basically contacting Rapido again for any issues or any queries about the wagon. Very basic leaflet, but it is interesting they have put the history in. Moving on to the front or the back of this vent van. Starting in the usual place, we do have a slimlined tension lock coupler down below. Not sure if it's an M1 or the other Rapido one they do. We have the buffer beam itself in an oxide or brown colour. We have the buffers and shanks in black. The buffer housings or shanks, they are in like a round shape instead of the usual square that most buffers are, and they I think have 3 rivets or screws attached to them. Alongside that we also have some metal work, again with some rivet work on it, some more rivet work next to that, and then we have the separately applied metal hook. The buffers themselves are not sprung, but they are metal. As we move on up just a little bit, we do have, I think, a moulded on lamp iron by the looks of it. We also have some wood panelling. Again, this is in the brown or the oxide. We have some metal work going up the centre to 2 lots. We have a vent in the centre. Then as you look at it now on the left side, there is a panelled out bit. Not too sure what that is for. There's also one around the other side as well. Then at the top we get to the separately applied white roof. As we now move on to the side of this Caledonian Railway covered van, both sides are the same, and it is again in the oxide or the brown livery of the Caledonian. So we do have 3 X's on this van, and they are meant to be the metal work. We also have some planking behind that. Hopefully my camera work will bring that out. We also have a C and an R either side of the door, and that is for the Caledonian Railway, and it's crisply printed, and it is in the correct font with no smudges at all. If you look on the door itself, we have the running number of this van, which is 73007. Again, it's in white. More near the R, we also have some chains and locks for the door. The door in real life would slide open. Then around the outside it is metal work in real life, but it's all been covered in brown here, which again is correct. As we move on down a bit, there is some more separately applied stuff. I think there's a pipe underneath. We also have the tonnage of this van, which is a 10 loader. We do have a builder's plate or plaque beneath the, I think it's the door of the van on the sole bar, and that is saying Caledonian Railways, and then it has the number of the van, which is 73007 in a white font with a black background. If we move on down to the left side now on the sole bar, we do have a black part, which I think could be some sort of chalking board. We have axles and springs on the sole bar as well for the wheels, crisply moulded. We also have spoked wheels on this with white rims, as you can see. And this version is the handbrake version. There also is a few rivets on there as well. The roof itself is in a off-white or cream colour. By the looks of it, as far as I'm aware, there's no rain ducts or vents on there to stop the water going on the crew. It's just a plain white roof. And finally, as we come on to the underneath look at this vent van, yes, most of the time when it's going around, are you going to see some of this? No, but it is nice that a manufacturer has gone to the trouble of doing this. So yes, we do have the standard NEM pockets. I wasn't sure to start off with. We also have metal wheels with bearings in the axles, which is a quality touch. We also can see the planking underneath. That is in black. Everywhere you look, there is some detail. So we have the handbrake, which this version only had a handbrake. Some versions have other details for braking as well. There's some metalwork, some rivets. There's some in the centre. There's some springs that face each other, and like I said before, there is some metal supports going around underneath. Most of the stuff you can see sticking up for the brake gear is metal by touch. It also looks like that the brake shoes line up with the wheels and are separately applied as well. So yeah guys, that's the van on the tracks. Got to be honest with you, it does look a little different to the others I have, and I quite like it in this brown livery. So next up will be the usual coupling test that I do with my rolling stock. And for this I am using a Loco instead of rolling stock. So the Loco is a Bachmann or Rails of Sheffield Caledonian 812 in built livery and condition. And then on the other side we have another pre-grouping item of rolling stock, and that is from Kerno Model Shop, and that is the London Brighton and South Coast Railway 5-plank wagon. So let's see if we can couple up to these different style of coupling, shall we? Nice and slow, nice and slow. Yep, no issues. Enjoy the running session. So yeah guys, that's the end of the review of this pre-grouping covered van by Rapido. Before I give my opinion and price, I'll tell you what was pulling the train, which was, like I said before, the Bachmann Caledonian 812 in original condition. And then the rolling stock is any Era 2 livery rolling stock. I think one isn't, which is the Great Northern one. It's a made-up livery, but it looks nice in this train. So, price. The price from Rapido for any of these vans, the Caledonian vans that is, you are talking £34.95, and some of them have sold out. If you are getting it from an online model shop, you are talking nearly £30 again for any of the liveries if they have them in stock. I got mine from a family run business in Stafford. I got mine from Tops Trains, and I paid again £34. Again, it's a family run business. Mike and Steve are very friendly and helpful. The prices are what they are for a modern day tooled item. and with several variants of detail. So my opinion on the van itself, I am quite impressed with it. Like I said, to start with I was a little bit disappointed. I thought mine had detail parts to add, but looking at the history and the leaflet inside the box, no, it is correct. But if you are unsure on what you have underneath, Rapido have put up on their social media pages what's underneath certain vans. I think one's got a Westinghouse pump and one's got ABS or something like that. So Rapido have gone to the trouble of tooling up correct variants, even though sometimes you probably aren't going to see the detail when it's going round from a bird's eye view or from a different angle that's not level with the track. But this van has teach me a lesson, if I'm honest with you. It teaches me that not all buffer shanks or buffers that hold it in have 4 screws and are square. This one is, I think, is like a triangle shape with a curvy bit. And I quite like them buffers, if I'm honest with you. Yes, I'm glad they're not sprung. They are metal. I like that. There's more detail inside the vents. There's lots of rivets that I haven't mentioned. There's a separately plied handbrake, which you can see here with a white end. Again, they're all separately plied and are metal. The roof is correct, just off-white with no rain ducts. That is correct from looking at a few photos. The tampo printing is lovely. I really can't find anything wrong with the van. And I only have this van in the correct Caledonian livery. The only other bit of stock I have, apart from 2 locos, is a Triang coach in a Caledonian livery. Personally, I do think Rapido are the kings of pre-grouping rolling stock at this point in time as I speak. And as you can tell by the train, 90% of this train is made up from Rapido pre-grouping stuff. It's going to be a thumbs up for me. Like I said, the price is what the prices are. If you don't want to pay it, you can always wait for a sale. Some model shops in a year or 6 months will slash the prices to get rid of them, going off history. So yeah, like I said, for me, it's a big thumbs up. I love pre-grouping rolling stock. I love pre-grouping locomotives, so it's always going to be a thumbs up. I hope you find this review useful and helpful. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So please take care and goodbye.